Afternoon, everyone. Since we don't have a quorum here, we are waiting for Alderman Seville to be here.
About 10 minutes.
About 10 more minutes. Thank you. The first item on agenda, 25-0360, approval of the minutes from the Building, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee meeting held on April 23rd, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Franco and seconded by Alderman Seville. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Madam Clerk, do we have any members of the public wishing to offer public comment?
No, we do not.
Thank you. The next item on agenda, 25-0336, an ordinance annexing property located at 1681 Bilter Road to the city of Aurora, Illinois.
Good afternoon. Basic Senior Planner with the Zoning and Planning Division. This property is located at 1681 Bilter Road and is currently within unincorporated county with F farming district zoning. The petitioner is requesting to annex into the property. This is part of a negotiation with the property owner regarding the Bilter road expansion. We are asking for right-of-way from them. Because of that, their well is within that right-of-way, so we are going to put them on city water in order to not have them pay double water rates. The city would annex them in so they wouldn't have to pay the double water rates. So that's it in a nutshell. If you have any questions for me, I can answer.
Any questions?
So moved.
Second.
I do have one thing. Can you please add this map to Legistar?
Is it not in there?
No.
Okay, yeah, I apologize.
Thank you, Tracy. We have a motion by Alderman Franco and seconded by Alderman Seville. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 3-0. The next item on agenda is 25-0352, a resolution approving a revision to the final plan for Herget Middle School located at 1550 Deer Path Road, West Aurora School District 129, 25-0532, SG 123-25, 153-FPN-SB, Ward 5.
Okay, thank you. It's good to see everyone again. My name is Stephen Broadwell. I'm a planner with the City of Aurora Zoning and Planning Division. Yes, as we just heard, this is a final plan revision for Herget Middle School. We have representatives from the school district who are here to answer any questions, give some background as necessary. So a little bit of background. I'm sure you're all familiar with the school. You can see it up here on the map. The existing school is northern portion. I'll show you the zoning map. Sorry. So there's a little bit of background here. So the northern portion of the property is the park property, and then the second where the school is, and the southern portion is where the it's vacant right now. It's zoned for a state conditional use plan development. So really what the school district is proposing is to kind of three parts. The main part is an athletic facility that is part football field with 8-ring track for running, circling the field. And the southern portion with, I'll pull up the final plan. There it is. So you can see the track there on the south end. 60 parking stalls on the south of the southern existing parking lot with the new right out, left out exit onto Deer Path Road. And then you can see in the northern portion, they're adding a new standing solar panel array. So that's really the scope of the proposal. Like I mentioned, the field is going to be used for football, soccer, primarily for the students. I think they outlined in the qualifying statement that it's only going to be a few times a year that they'll have some events for the students just to have games or whatever there. They're not adding any lights around the facility, the track and the football field. There's no permanent bleacher. There is some outdoor lighting near the new parking lot, but that's as necessary. As far as the zoning, it is a permitted use within the Verona Ridge plan development. And then the solar panel array is in compliance with the zoning ordinances standards. So I think that's really it for this outline. I don't know if there are any questions for staff.
Any questions?
Well, I don't know if I have petitioner staff, so tell me about primarily being used by the students. What does primarily mean?
If you want.
Sure. And Associate Superintendent for Operations for West. So it's actually exclusively for students.
Okay.
Do we know that there may be community members, because it's not fenced, who will decide to use it to walk? Absolutely. We're not going to necessarily discourage that. But the way it will be set up is it's a middle school track. So while it's attached to Herget, it's not just for Herget. Herget students will probably use it for PE. But what will happen with our middle schools is during track season, they will rotate and each have a day to use this. Right now, their track meets are all at West High. So this enables us to pull them out of West High and put them at this Herget location. And then there's only a handful of actual meets during the year. And those all happen in the spring. The football games that we have, there won't be any increase in those. They'll just literally be shifting from the north side of the building to the south side of the building. We don't anticipate renting this out to any track clubs or things like that, at least initially. Is that possible down the road? If it starts to become a community asset? Yes, but initially it's just for us.
Well, that was kind of what I was getting at, about whether AU uses it or some other colleges or private clubs. I guess my concern would be how much they use it. Now, the light thing, there's
Yep.
no lights, thank God.
There's no lights because
So that's a good one,
Yep.
because I don't think that people are going to have a problem at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon with a track going in there. And
Yep.
you said that you're not going to discourage the people that live around there to use it?
Well, we have signs up that say you're supposed to use things with our permission, but
Okay.
we're not fencing this
Sure.
or alarming it. So if somebody walks out their back door and decides to,
Right.
walk 4 laps a day to do a mile,
Yeah.
they do it at their own risk.
Right.
But we're not going to actively, the way we do at West High, we have cameras on that field, we have motion detectors on that field. That's not going to happen at this location.
And I didn't really look at the landscaping plan close. Is there like a buffer between, because you got some of the houses to the west of
Yep.
the track? So you'll have like some
Yes, we'll
shrubs
put
and
some
stuff like that.
landscaping in. I think the important thing
Yeah.
to remember is, there's not going to be, there's no buildings or things going in that we need to shield them from. It'll be the track, and then we will put some landscaping along the buffer region. We've talked
Right.
with the city about that, what that might look like.
So, being a resident lives really close to a middle school, Washington,
Yep,
and when they have events there, I have no problem with that. So
Yep.
I'm going to assume that those residents are going to see the same thing I'm seeing.
Exactly.
It's just that type of thing. It's going to be in
Yep.
the middle of the afternoon. It's not a big deal. It comes and goes. No, because
yeah,
that's kind of what I'm looking at.
middle school gets out
Sure.
at 3:40.
Right.
Yeah.
And because of the fact that track meets take place in the spring, we're always done early enough before it gets dark. So again, we won't have lights, so that won't be an issue.
Right.
We did add the parking because anybody who's been down by Herget knows the Deer Path doesn't have great parking, so we did anticipate, hey, if we've got parents at a meet, let's add some additional parking to
Sure.
accommodate
Right.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, and Alderman, if I may, with the landscaping, we did, the school district, and you in particular, was willing to work with us on the landscaping. So we did, you can actually see the new landscaping there on the plan.
Right.
So we did, adjacent to the residential lots there in Verona Ridge.
Okay.
So we were okay with that, staff that is, and then the parking as well, so.
So, and one question, because I'm glad the solar panels on the north side.
Yes.
So, an array of solar panels. What are those solar panels used for? If it's
Sure.
used for the stuff in the school to give it.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. So the solar panels, one thing to keep in mind is that north side is actually lower than the road. So
Okay.
when the solar panels go in, you might not even be able to see them from the road, and there aren't any residents close by.
Sure.
But yes, we will put the solar panels in. They'll essentially produce some of the power for the building, not all of it. It will reduce what we have to essentially pay ComEd for, and we'll save taxpayers money in the long run because we'll be able to, produce some of it ourselves and lock in a lower rate.
So I know that as I talk to constituents over there over the years,
Mm-hmm.
I think they had knowledge of something like this happening someday. Have we had any correspondence with the neighborhood at all? I mean, the school district rather, or just?
I have had a few people reach out when we talked about this in the fall at a board meeting, and then there was an article in the Beacon. What the individuals I talked to were excited about the fact that As some of you may be aware, there were things that we were talking about putting there before that they were not thrilled about. So I think they were very happy to know that this is what's going to go there, that there's not other buildings going there, we're not selling it, that this is going to be a use that, it goes more along with what they would like to see. So anything I heard was positive.
No, and I think that you remind me of that, because we knew what was going to go over there before, and I
Yep.
think the comments were, why couldn't we have something like a football field or a track?
what you're getting.
So they're getting what they, I just want
Yep.
to make sure everybody's on board with
Yep,
that. So the fact that
absolutely.
you had some correspondence is wonderful,
Yeah.
perfect, okay.
Yep.
That's all I have then, okay.
Any other questions?
No, other than that was my main concern is Alderman Franco, since it's his ward, and how he feels about it with the constituents, and you kept everybody informed, and I think
Yeah.
this is great.
Awesome.
Be great.
Well, we're excited. We're excited about it. I will share that we may not play football on it in the fall because we don't know how grass will be, so the solar panel stuff may happen a little bit later. But our plan is to get the track in as soon as possible, and then we'll do the solar panels after we're confident that the football field is playable.
Well, if I can, the football field, we're not going to do artificial turf, we're going to do grass?
No, grass.
I mean, I know artificial turf is expensive.
Yes, exactly. And this again is middle school, so
Yeah.
it will be used for football. We actually have a separate field that we use for soccer, so it would only be for football.
Okay.
You will see some PE usage of it from Herget just because of the fact that it's adjoining the building, but primarily it'll be for track and then football.
Okay, all right, thank you.
What's the population of Herget right now?
Herget, we're about 650. But again, it's important, I keep telling people this is a middle school track, it's not Herget. So one day a week, Herget will practice. One day a week, Washington will practice. Jefferson will have a day, Jewel will have a day, and then like on Friday, there would be a meet.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Okay?
Do
Thank
we
you
have
very
a
much.
motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion by Alderman Franco and seconded by Alderman Seville. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 3-0. The next item on agenda is 25-0391, a resolution approving a final plan for the Learning Commons of the Aurora University campus located at the northwest corner of Prairie Street and South Randall Road.
Sorry, I just want to get the map up for you. The subject property is currently at the corner of South Randall and Prairie Street. The petitioner is requesting a final plan for the construction of a 49,300 square foot, 3-story learning commons building. The petitioner has a little bit of a presentation, so I'll let him kind of go into the detail of exactly what's going to be in there. I will tell you that the building elevations have been designed to complement the existing architecture out there, and there is a landscape plan that is being implemented throughout the site. I can turn it over to the petitioner to go over his presentation unless you have any comments for me.
Perfect, thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Charlotte Carlton, a civil engineer with Smith Group on the design team for the Learning Commons at Aurora University. As Tracy just mentioned, we just have a brief presentation to tell you a little bit more about the project and what we're proposing. So as we just saw, the existing site at the corner of Prairie Street and Randall Road, there used to be I believe it was 3 or 4 homes that were demolished, and a fire lane was put in next to the existing student center and parking garage just to the north. So what we are proposing looks a little bit like this. So Learning Commons will be kind of a student gathering space, a library space, a digital commons space. We're proposing a cafe, a terrace. There will be a double height atrium in the center. But obviously what you're mostly seeing here is the site. As Tracy mentioned again, we're going to have some extensive landscaping, a lot of outdoor seating space, and the site did change a little bit since what you're seeing here, and even what you're seeing here, but to kind of give you a bird's eye view of what we're proposing, there's the building that's just over 42,000 total square feet. And we'll still be maintaining the sidewalk along Prairie Street, and it'll have access to this kind of grander plaza, which will be adjacent to a future donor water wall feature. So there will be graded up to about 4.5 feet. And we do have some different views after this to get a look at that. But an opportunity to honor donors of Aurora University with a water feature to kind of drown out some of the traffic noise. And since there will be berming and planting, that will also be another kind of buffer from Prairie Street and the entrance on Randall Road. Along the north side of the the north side of the building, there will be a concrete loading dock that will also act as that fire lane. And since this plan was drawn, we have coordinated more with the fire department, and the lane is changing a little bit, so I'll show you that on the next slide. But as you kind of come around the west side of the site, there will be more additional seating and what we're calling garden seating that's kind of acting as little pockets of quieter areas to gather around the site. And then there will still be direct access to the student center, and we are also redoing access to the parking garage to the north. So as I mentioned, we're redoing the design of the fire lane slightly to keep that lane closer to the building. So instead of it going perpendicular to Prairie Street, it'll kind of come in at an angle like that. There will be some berming in this kind of empty southwest corner, again, to act as a barrier between the road and act as some sound attenuation. Another major feature of the site will be the bioretention and permeable pavers on site. We are trying to reduce the amount of impervious space on this site as much as possible. And we are also retaining this large tree in the southeast corner of the site as well. So as promised, a few elevation renderings. So the landscape plan has been submitted to the city. And we are also working on construction documentation, but the goal is to have a lot of natural-looking plants in the area. So this is looking from Randall Road to the west. And this right area will be where a cafe is, and you can see there's a terrace up on that third floor space just below the overhang. And this is looking from the corner of Prairie and Randall. There'll be articulated brick kind of AU branding to really give it a sense of place. And you can see here the berming will actually come up to the top of this wall so that it's almost like a hidden water feature behind. This is another view of that entrance. Same corner. And then a view of the water wall. This design is in progress, but just to kind of give you an idea of what's being proposed. There'll be a lot of outdoor seating along this area. And then same thing with those kind of garden pocket seating areas. We want to give a lot of different options for students and faculty to use this space, whether it's quieter or out by the cafe where it may be a little bit noisier. And that's a brief presentation of the project. If you have any questions about anything else, I'd be happy to answer.
Yes. Alderman Sibel.
Yeah, a couple questions, I think.
Sure.
The Learning Center, is this meant to replace the library totally?
I believe the plan will be to reuse the library space in the future.
To reuse it, but for something else,
yeah.
Obviously. And will there be space for anything else besides the Learning Center in here?
There's going to be a variety of different spaces. There's going to be a tech hub space, a cafe space, as I mentioned. I believe there may be plans for kind of like a spirit store, but there will be a lot of different gathering spaces included.
And assuming this is approved, when you're looking to break ground?
Sorry?
Assuming this is approved by City Council, when might you be looking to break ground?
I believe we're looking to break ground this summer.
Summer, and looking for a finish date when?
That is a good question. I'd have to get back to you on exact finish date.
Maybe you know.
You might be able, yeah.
Like to break ground, early summer here,
Yeah.
May, hopefully. Finish date fall of 26.
Oh, great.
So
Yeah,
12,
great.
18-month project.
Mm-hmm. Good.
But as far as I can allude to other functions in there, basically everything that's in the current library, academic support, Disability Resource Office would be in there. We're moving a cafe over from a different location, so career services, the traditional library function space as well, study rooms, stuff like that, so.
Okay, thank you.
Great,
course.
thank you.
Alderman Franco?
So, that parking garage, which, as parking garage goes, not bad looking, the fact that this is in front of it, much better. I mean, it's just, I mean, when you said it's in front of it, thank God, because it's a good-looking building. And I did read in here about the water flow and all that kind of stuff, and our engineers have gone over all this. I mean, it sounds like everything's good, because typically when they do that, it comes out as good or better. So there's no problems with water and storm sewers and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah, it looks great.
Great.
It's going to be an enhancement for the neighborhood. I'm kind of, my ward's kind of adjacent to that, so.
Oh, great.
It looks wonderful, so congratulations, thank you.
No, thank you
That's all I
guys.
got.
We're excited about this project.
What will be the hours
So the hours of the,
when
for
the building
operations?
is open?
To be determined, normal.
Okay.
I don't see us staying open past 10.
Okay.
We talked about 24 hours, but that's not feasible. So
Yeah.
it would be like any other building we have on campus, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
We might extend it during finals to midnight, but to be determined.
Yeah, some of the universities have the library or learning centers open for
Yeah,
24
longer.
hours, so that's why I
We did
asked.
float that idea, but right now we would just keep it kind of what we normally, what we have it now at our current library. I think it closes at 10.
And students will have access
Full
card.
access, yep,
It's only accessible by the people who have the ID,
correct, yep.
yeah, for safety reasons.
Yes.
Yeah. Any plans of installing any solar panels?
For this site, no.
No, okay. Any reason, or you just want to make it consistent to rest of the buildings?
That is, yes, correct. Just keep it consistent with main campus.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion? Oh, Alderman Sivak.
Just a hypothetical question of staff. Hypothetically, if Alderman Donnell was here today, would he be happy with the landscape plan?
Yes, I believe he would. There's a lot of native plantings. We did use some best practices, so there's bioswales and infiltration areas, so that that's helping with the stormwater management too. So I think he would be pleased with it.
Great, that's good enough for me, thank you.
And if I can make a comment on that, Aurora University's landscaping is outstanding. It's beautiful over there, so I don't even question that at all. As a matter of fact, Bill Donnell probably says thank you for all the things they've done in the past. They really do a good job. Good.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Franco and seconded by Alderman Savell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 3-0. There are no other items
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
on agenda, and we don't need a closed session. So motion to adjourn by Alderman Franco and second by Alderman Savell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thank you. We adjourned at 4:40.